Hello everyone! Dear students, this is part 2 of our chapter number 5, The Ailing Planet, the Green Movement's Role. We are reading an article written by Nani Palkiwala, which was published in the Indian Express in 1994. We said the issues that he raised in this article regarding the declining health of the earth continue to have relevance. Let's continue. It has been well said that forests precede mankind. Deserts follow. To precede means to come before. It has been well said that forests come before mankind and deserts follow. The world's ancient patrimony of tropical forests is now eroding at the rate of 40 to 50 million acres a year, and the growing use of dung for burning deprives the soil of an important natural fertilizer. The world's ancient patrimony, here patrimony refers to inheritance. The world's ancient patrimony of tropical forests is now eroding. It is reducing, it is gradually disappearing. It is eroding at the rate of 40 to 50 million acres a year. And the growing use of dung for burning deprives the soil. To deprive means to take away. It deprives the soil of an important natural fertilizer. Whenever a dung is burned, the soil becomes deprived of an important fertilizer. Fertilizer refers to manure, something which makes the soil fertile. The World Bank estimates that a five-fold increase in the rate of forest planting is needed to cope with the expected fuel wood demand in the year 2000. Here we have an estimate of the World Bank that a five-fold increase, five-fold means 5 times, that a five-fold increase in the rate of forest planting is needed. That means that we need to plant 5 times more. Fivefold. We need a fivefold increase in the rate of forest planting to cope with the expected fuel wood demand in the year 2000. To cope with means to deal with or to face. To face the expected fuel wood demand. Fuel wood is the wood used as fuel. These are expectations for the demand in the year 2000. Let's not forget that this article is written in 1994. These were estimates for the year 2000. James Spett, the president of the World Resources Institute, said the other day, "We were saying that we are losing the forest at an acre a second, but it is much closer to an acre and a half to a second." Here it is said that James Spett, the president of the World Resources Institute, said that the damage is bigger than it seems. We were saying that we are losing the forest at 1 acre a second, but it is much worse. It is much closer to an acre and a half to a second. Article 48A of the Constitution of India provides that the state shall endeavour to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard the forests and wildlife of the country. This article 48A of the Constitution of India makes a provision that the state shall endeavor. Endeavor means to try. The state shall try to protect and improve the environment. It will also try to safeguard. It will try to protect the forests and wildlife of the country. But what causes endless anguish is the fact that laws are never respected nor enforced in India. What causes endless anguish, endless suffering, is that the laws are never respected. They are not enforced. Enforced means implemented. They are not implemented. The laws are there, but they are not implemented. And this is causing endless anguish. Endless, something that has no end. Endless anguish, endless suffering. Here, an example has been given. For instance, the Constitution says that casteism, untouchability, and bonded labor shall be abolished. But they flourish shamelessly even after 44 years of the operation of the Constitution. It is said, for example, the Constitution says that casteism means belief in caste differences. Untouchability refers to not touching the so-called low caste people. And bonded labor means forced labor. The Constitution says that casteism, untouchability, and bonded labor shall be abolished. It says it will be finished. However, they flourish shamelessly even after 44 years of the operation of the Constitution. To flourish means to prosper. The laws haven't been abolished. They are there. The laws haven't been implemented. They are there, but they are not implemented. Casteism, untouchability, and bonded labor flourish shamelessly, even after so many years. A recent report of our Parliament's Estimates Committee has highlighted the near catastrophic depletion of India's forests over the last 4 decades. This recent report has highlighted, it has brought into light the near catastrophic depletion. Catastrophic depletion stands for disastrous reduction in number. This catastrophic depletion of India's forests over the last 4 decades, this issue has been highlighted in the recent report of our Parliament's Estimates Committee. Catastrophic means destructive or disastrous, and depletion means reduction. India's forests have disappeared. India, according to reliable data, is losing its forest at the rate of 3.7 million acres a year. Large areas officially designated as forest land are already virtually treeless. The actual loss of forest is estimated to be about 8 times the rate indicated by government statistics. According to reliable data, India is losing its forest at the rate of 3.7 million acres a year. This is a big amount. Large areas that are officially designated as forest land, designated means specified or named. They are designated as forest land, are already without any trees. Virtually means almost, almost treeless, almost no trees left. And they are supposed to be forest lands. The actual loss of forest is estimated to be about 8 times more than the statistics show. A 3-year study using satellites and aerial photography conducted by the United Nations warns that the environment has deteriorated so badly that it is critical in many of the 88 countries investigated. There were 88 countries investigated by the United Nations study, a 3-year study that was using satellites and aerial photography. Satellites means electronic devices sent into space which move around the Earth. Aerial photography means photography from the air. This study, a 3-year-old study that was using satellites and aerial photography, it was conducted in 88 states, in 88 countries. The study says that the environment in many of the 88 countries investigated has deteriorated so badly that it is critical in many of these countries. Investigated means examined. The countries that were investigated in the study. There can be no doubt that the growth of world population is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society. It took mankind more than 1,000,000 years to reach a first billion. There can be no doubt, without any doubt, the growth of population, of the world population, is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society. Distorting means making worse. It took mankind more than 1,000,000 years to reach the first billion. That was the world population around the year 18,000. But by the year 19,000, a second billion was added. The population, the growth of world population, has gone up tremendously. It is said that by that time a second billion was added, and the 20th century has added another 3.7 billion. The present world population is estimated at 5.7 billion. Every 4 days, the world population increases by 1 million. This is what Nani Palkhiwala is saying about the growth of world population as one of the strongest factors which is distorting the future of human society. Fertility falls as incomes rise, education spreads, and health improves. Thus, development is the best contraceptive. But development itself may not be possible if the present increase in numbers continues. Nani Palkhiwala is saying that fertility falls as incomes rise. In countries with higher income, fertility falls. Education spreads and health improves. what is he suggesting is that world population should be controlled. Thus, development is the best contraceptive. Contraceptive means birth control method or way to control population. But development itself may not be possible if the present increase in numbers continues. If the numbers continue to rise, this will not be possible. Nani Palkivala says that development in that case will not be possible. The rich get richer, and the poor beget children, which condemns them to remain poor. The rich get richer, and the poor beget children. Beget means to give birth. They beget children, which condemns them to remain poor. More children does not mean more workers, merely more people without work. Having more children doesn't mean necessarily more workers. It means more people without work. In order to be workers, they will spend some time without work. It is not suggested that human beings be treated like cattle and compulsorily sterilized, but there is no alternative to voluntary family planning without introducing an element of coercion. Here it is said that we are not suggesting that human beings should be treated like cattle and compulsorily sterilized. We are not saying that humans should be made unfit for production. We are not saying they should be sterilized by compulsion. But there is no alternative for voluntary family planning without introducing such an element of coercion. Coercion means compulsion or use of force. The choice is really between control of population and perpetuation of poverty. Here the author is giving us, from one hand, control of population, and on the other hand, the perpetuation of poverty, the continuation of poverty. Perpetuation means continuation. The population of India is estimated to be 920 million today, more than the entire populations of Africa and South America put together. No one familiar with the conditions in India would doubt that the hope of the people would die in their hungry hutments unless population control is given topmost priority. It is said that the population of India is estimated to be 920 million today. This number is more than Africa and South America put together. It is a huge number. No one familiar with the conditions in India would doubt. No one would doubt. No one who is aware of the conditions in India would doubt that the hope of the people would die in their hungry hutments. Hutments means a settlement, settlements of huts, unless population control is given topmost priority. Here, Nana Palkivala is suggesting us that no one who knows the conditions in India would doubt that there will be many people who will die unless population control is given topmost priority. If population control is not given the topmost priority. What Nani Palkivala is saying, there will be a perpetuation of poverty, continuation of poverty. That is why he is suggesting the population control. For the first time in human history, we have seen a transcending concern, the survival not just of the people, but of the planet. We have begun to take a holistic view of the very basis of our existence. The environmental problem does not necessarily signal our demise. It is our passport for the future. Here, it says that for the first time in human history, we see a transcending concern. Transcending concern stands for main anxiety or worry. For the first time in human history, we see this transcendental concern, this main anxiety or worry, and this is the survival, not just of the people, but of the planet as well. We have begun to take a holistic view of the very basis of our existence. And the environmental problem does not necessarily signal our demise, it is our passport for the future. It doesn't necessarily mean demise, death. It means it's our passport for the future. Whatever we do today is going to reflect in our future. The emerging New World Vision has ushered in the era of responsibility. It is a holistic view, an ecological view, seeing the world as an integrated whole rather than a dissociated collection of parts. The emerging New World Vision refers to rising vision, rising dream or foresight. The rising New World Vision has ushered in era of responsibility. It is a holistic view, an ecological view, seeing the world as an integrated. We are all part of the big whole. Seeing the world as an integrated whole rather than a dissociated collection of parts. Integrated means united, combined. Dissociated means isolated or separated. The author is telling us that this view is now a holistic view, an ecological view, a complete, comprehensive view, characterized by the belief that the parts of something are intimately interconnected only by reference to the whole. We are relating to the whole, to complete system rather than with a part of the whole. Industry has a most crucial role to play in this new era of responsibility. Industry has a crucial role, an important role in this new era of responsibility, in this new age of responsibility. What a transformation would be affected if more businessmen share the view of the chairman of DuPont, Mr. Edgar S. Woolard, who 5 years ago declared himself to be the company's chief environmental officer. He said, "Our continued existence as a leading manufacturer requires that we excel in environmental performance." It is said that what a transformation would be affected if more businessmen share the view of the chairman of DuPont. The chairman of DuPont has a specific view. His name is Mr. Edgar S. Woolard, and he declared that our continued existence as a leading manufacturer requires that we excel in environmental performance. It means we should take care of the environment, not just doing the practices as we usually do. Our continued existence as a leading manufacturer requires that we do this very important part as well. We should excel in environmental performance. To excel means to show excellence. Of all the statements made by Margaret Thatcher during the years of her prime ministership, none has passed so decisively into the current coin of English usage as her fallacious words. No generation has a freehold on this earth. All we have is a life tenancy, with a full repairing lease. In the words of Mr. Lester Brown, we have not inherited this earth from our forefathers. We have borrowed it from our children. In the last paragraph of the article, it is said that of all the statements made by Margaret Thatcher during the years of her prime ministership, none has passed so decisively. Decisively means decidedly. Into the current coin of English usage, current means recent, and usage refers to use of words. As her fallacious words. Fallacious stands for proper for congratulations. She said, no generation has a freehold on this earth. Freehold refers to permanent occupancy of land. No one has the permanent occupancy of land. It is true, we do not own the land. We cannot actually own it. All we have is a life tenancy. Tenancy means living like a tenant. All we have is a life tenancy with a full repairing lease. Repairing means mending lease. Lease stands for the right of use of land for some time. In the words of Mr. Lester Brown, we have not inherited this earth from our forefathers. We haven't received in heritage the earth from our forefathers. We have borrowed it from our children. Borrowed means taken as a loan or as a debt. It means we should take care of this earth. We haven't inherited it. Think from this point of view. We have borrowed it from our children, and we should return it back in a good condition. We should be a good caretakers and a good trustees, so that future generations can also have clean environment, clean air, clean water, and healthy soil. Dear students, this was our chapter number 5, an article written by Nani Palkiwala. And this will be all for today. Next time we will talk more about the ailing planet and the green movement's role. Have a nice day and see you soon.